Hi guys, so here is today's topic, which is actually, oh my god, I'm not really hungover like I was before, so I'm getting better. I've been drinking a lot of water, but this was yesterday. Oh god, guys, if you see tags sometimes and it doesn't look right, let me know so I can be able to remove it. But I wanted to congratulate this Starbucks location for being such a great support team for me and allowing me to be myself and do my thing. And you guys definitely, and it's on 26 and Wilshire, and you guys definitely need to shower them with gifts. And thank you so much for tipping. I don't really have it to tip. It's up to you guys to tip me so I can be able to tip them. So one thing I did want to talk about is loving and being able to go to like white neighborhood, right? And being impressed with the way everything is. I don't know, they're not the same the way they used to be anymore. So they've definitely changed versus going to the black neighborhood, or the Spanish neighborhood, just because they're, a lot more undereducated, and so they think they can do whatever they want. But in the white neighborhood, it's a lot different because they're more sophisticated, they're more mentally trained, and they know how to mind their business, which is the most important thing. Success comes with minding your own business, especially when you're out there. It's like, picking on people, things like that is just not a great look. You never know who you're picking on. If you're not going to help the situation, there is no reason why you should even address the situation, right? And so I always try to push that and let people know that, it's so important for you to just mind your business, and as long as you don't see somebody dying or going through something where they need your help, then that's different. But if you're just going to bully and to pick and to laugh and to point, do that somewhere else. And what I do love about Santa Monica, which we pray and hope it doesn't change, is that they mind their own business because they're busy doing their own work. Now in the black neighborhood, I did think Inglewood was okay because I did live with my ex-best friend Sherelle Nash in Inglewood for a little bit. She allowed me. She's a black girl and she was so sweet, and she allowed me. She's, no one's perfect, but she's the one girl that invited me when I didn't have anywhere else to go. I had my apartment. I got evicted out of my apartment at the Kipling Hotel on Kingsley and 3rd. And that's where I lived since I was 16 years old when I moved to California from Houston, Texas. And literally, I didn't know how to pay rent. All I did know was I met this white woman who was a stripper, and she was right next door to my apartment, and her son is mixed with black, Dresden, and he came up to me and he loved me and he wanted to play with me. So she saw that and she was like, oh my God, can you be my babysitter? I need a babysitter at night when I go dance, blah, blah, blah. I was like, definitely. And at the time I was pregnant, and it's so crazy because I was going through so much depression. It wasn't really depression, but it was just emotional distress. Like when you get pregnant, you get very emotional as a girl and you just be crying out of nowhere, but that's probably because you're feeling the emotions of the child or the experience of the moment. And so I went through that, and I was literally I would just cry out of nowhere, just pass out, not pass out, just fall on the ground and just start crying. And it's not like I'm depressed, but I didn't know what to do. I got pregnant at 16. I asked God to get me pregnant at 16 and get me pregnant at 17 and give me a baby at 18. And I didn't think he was going to really do it. I didn't know. I believed it, but I was like, Lord knows if it's ever really going to happen, but I think it would be a great idea because then I wouldn't be too young to take care of my daughter, and I won't be too old and tired and grumpy to actually continue to take care of her or be her friend. And so from there, I was like, okay. Once it happened, I couldn't believe God answered my prayers. I thought it was just the most incredible thing, right? But it was just that I asked him to make me a single mother. Just because I admired this one woman who was a single mother, and I thought she was just so beautiful and strong, and so I wanted to appear or just live her life. It's so important not to envy other people's lives because you don't know what they're really going through. The way it looks like on the outside is not the way it really is in real life. It is a big struggle and it is hard, and it's you really literally have to just fight through that. And I don't think she was even doing it alone. She was getting money from her baby daddy versus my baby daddy who wasn't giving me money, who actually, when I tried to involve, because my 3 best friends in high school told me that if you don't involve her tell her father about her. When she gets older, she's gonna be mad, blah blah blah. So me and them ran to his hood at Grape Street. And we're not hood girls. We go to Hollywood High School, and like, you know, all the hood girls want to beat us up basically. And so they wanted to, because my best friend at the time in high school, Jamie, was like the light-skinned beautiful one, right? And she was, I mean, we're all beautiful, but she had her little cake thing going on, right? And so she was like the one person that is always getting into fights on the bus, fighting the bus driver, fighting everybody. And I would tell y'all, we had so much fun, but at the same time, it's like, me and her got into a fight with this crazy ass guy that tried to beat up my, anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is my Instagram. But yeah, so this, like, I don't know if I told you guys this in my last video, but my this black guy, I don't know if he had like a mental disorder, which I think 99.9% of the black race has a mental disorder. But he literally was like, you know, your baby's a crack baby. So Jamie was there with me, and I said, what? I told Jamie to hold the baby. I said, here, hold the baby. I run up to him, and I start beating him up. I start hitting him, punching him. I mean, this is a 6 feet, almost probably 7 feet, big dude. And I don't know what came over me. The minute you have a child, it's like your life, it's like if you love yourself, or if you love your child, it's like everything. And so that's basically what she did, right? She was like, okay. She was like, go ahead, and he was like really big, right? So I just started hitting him, and I started just being like, you know, don't talk about my baby in this. I'm literally grabbing on the pole and kicked them. Nobody did anything. So my best friend at the time, who is not my best friend anymore, she literally, and I'll tell you why she's not. It was her decision. She just couldn't pull up, or she didn't pass the test. Guys, I'm learning to grab the words, but I love her, and I still do, and I loved her, but I'm pretty much over it, right? So what happened was, like, so me and her, so instead of her holding the baby, she gives the baby to some strange Spanish woman. Okay, I'm not saying I have any issues with Spanish people. They take care of their kids, and they're always, you know, with their stroller and blah, blah, blah. It's just, they're strangers. If you're my friend and I give you my baby, it's your responsibility. You need to give up the fact that you want to fight and you want to prove to your bestie that you got her back. And I appreciate that, because she's the first one that really threw hands and fought for me. So I love that. But you need to follow instructions. If your queen tells you not to do something, or to do this, to do that, or your whatever, or princess or whatever, you need to follow the instructions, okay? You cannot just hand the child over to just anybody just because you want to jump into the fight. Unless you saw the queen getting beat up or beat down, then it's a different story. But even then, you better hold that baby in your hand. Or you can give it to somebody that you feel like is trustworthy. But I just felt like, oh my God, Jamie, why didn't you just hold the baby? Why do you got to give the baby up to some stranger? But the lady was holding the baby nicely. She didn't rob, she didn't take the baby. So I guess she had good instincts. She knew who to give the baby to. And so from there, the lady gives me back this. So Jamie goes in. I love her for this. This is why I have like unconditional love for her, just because I felt like she really had my back, right? And so I was like, oh my God, that's just so amazing. And so when she did that, she jumps in and she starts beating the guy up too with me. None of us had dropped him, but the bus driver stopped and allowed it to happen. So we were like, that's our bus driver, because he know we don't play that shit. Like, and so from there, he was just like, okay. He didn't stop us. He didn't start no problems. He just let us get off the bus. And so from there, he was just like, okay. From there, he comes off, and he's like, from there, the bus driver he drives off, but we all fall off the bus, right? Me, Jamie, and the baby are on the ground. We're literally on the ground, and the baby is in my hand, and everything. It was like a mess, but the baby didn't get hurt, right? That's why my God said give her for adoption, because the life was way too dangerous. Like, and we, like me, battling with a mental disorder and all sorts of things. It was hard at the time for me to just keep, my composure, always stay under control when it came to certain things. So I was just like, a little like, after you've been through a lot, you go through certain things, your temper is really short. And the last thing you want anybody to talk about is your child, because that's your baby. That's the only person that sleeps with you at night, wakes up with you in the morning, tells you I love you, even when you're not the best. Even when you're a bitch, your baby tells you they love you. And that's the beauty of having a child. And so, but I try not to be a bitch to my baby. But we're bitches to each other sometimes. But anyways, so that was over, and we're gonna talk more about Apple. It's just I had to get this out of my system so I could have it like documented, or at least have it like right in the you guys can actually hear it, right? Anyways, just to get this out, Apple, you guys need like models, like application. I got my application in. But check this out, like somebody to really, 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 really promote it. And it's not like they really need your promotion, but look at that. They got the princess here. Oh, look at that, Babish. She's a fucking savage. Look at that shit. Whew, that's beautiful. Look how bright. Look how gorgeous. Go ahead, baby. Go ahead. Go. That's right. That's right. This is the best Apple store that I've actually ever been to, just because, besides like the little incident that happened. Look at that shit. That's a killer ass. Wow, that's the camera on this. And this is the iPad. This is not the iPhone 14 Pro Max. This is the iPad. And let me tell you, the newer it is, I literally had to remove the little thing from the screen, from the camera screen, in order for it to have even more. But the picture gets better and clearer the more you clean the lens and the more you make it. So I'm gonna tell y'all, I was dancing, right? I had to remove the tags, and of course security guards came and told me to because I was getting bored. I'm like charging, but then they're supposed to come and I was trying to get the iPad the keyboard, and it wasn't. Look at this, girl. I'm distracted. Ooh, yes. Drop it low, girl. Drop it low. Queen says you better get some strippers up in this BITCH. And King. But you see how they showed up? But let me tell you, this guy's really nice. They showed up. They were like, okay, baby, what are you doing? And they're like, I had to explain. I'm like, I was trying to pull you guys closer, and that's what I was trying to do. I'm like, if they see me doing this, I know they're going to probably show up. I want to see if they're going to show, because I'm not about to be chasing them down just to get help. Like, that's what happens. It's like everybody's always busy when you go to this Apple store. And it's not just this Apple store, it's every Apple store. But it's good if they're busy talking to other customers, but not busy talking to each other. Like, unless it's business, unless it's this and that. So I did ask him. I was like telling him about the iPad, the keyboard. I was telling him, well, it's not working. I want to get the keyboard, but I want to make sure it works right. And I actually told him, why don't we get like a little like writing? You know how you use the Apple Pencil with the iPad? Well, why don't we, like, when they having the course or the class let me tell you, having him informed me on so many things that I needed to be informed on. He explained everything so well, and I love being able to talk to them and know what's going on. That way I'm not frustrated and I don't throw a fit, because that's what's gonna happen if I don't. I'm like, I don't even know what to do, right? So what I was telling him here was that I love how, well, this is probably not exactly what I'm saying right now, but this was a part of the conversation that we did have, is that I love how they changed their uniform from green to blue. Not that I don't like green, but the blue looks a lot more serious. When I used to work for Armani Exchange, they're not even clothes. This is a computer, a great computer, like the future. And Armani Exchange is just great clothes, but they're just clothes. And it's not just clothes, but they're nice clothes. But it's just clothes at the same time when it comes to technology, versus clothing. It's like clothing is good, but you can get clothing anywhere, right? So when we worked for Armani Exchange, they made sure that we were wearing suits, blazers. We could wear jeans, but always have a nice blazer. So I was wondering, like, why don't they have blazers? Like, why are they wearing just t-shirts if they're talking business, right? And so Steve Jobs was talking to me. He was like, maybe it makes them feel comfortable. That way people don't take it too serious, or like people don't think that they have to be a certain way to enter the store, because the actual product is already very serious. It's already a very good computer. So they want to invite just especially people that that need it the most, or that it's not just for business or high-end people, but especially artists. The Apple iPad and Apple stuff like that, like the pencil and everything, that's made for artists. Like if you're an artist, instead of having a bunch of papers, you can do your digital art. And that's what I love about the Apple the iPad, is being able to do your digital art. But don't get me wrong, I do love having the painting and this and that, but to keep less of a mess, you know, digital art is the best art. You can just send it, print it, etc., which is something that I love. And I'm very excited. That's what got me so happy, especially the 12.9 inch, which is the one that had me like, I gotta have it, because I always had the 11 inch, and it wasn't always just the best because everybody has that one, and the 12.9 inch is a lot cheaper. So we definitely want to get the TV, but we're collecting them slowly. And so we already got the iPad, we already got the MacBook Pro M2 chip, we already got the iPhone 14 Pro Max. We got the iPencil, which was like $200 almost, or $120. I think it was $200, which I love it. Steve definitely was like, you need to get the real pencil. Don't get the little fake ones they get on Amazon. Get the real Apple Pencil. You definitely need to promote it. Got the iWatch, but we need to get the TV and the computer, not the laptop, but the actual computer, and just test them out, see how those things go. But it's beautiful. Just to finish the story of what I was telling you, so I did drop Jamie as a friend. She dropped me first, I dropped her first. We always separated, and I think we just grew apart. And Sade stopped talking to Jamie because Jamie's a bitch. One thing you guys need to know about her is she's a bitch. She's brutally honest, and sometimes she's not even honest. She's just being a bitch. Like, even if some of the things that she could say is true, she doesn't know how to word it. I remember we went to a movie set doing audience work, and this guy was a fan of hers, thought she was so gorgeous, and the guy was like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, can I get your number? And look what she said. She said, ugh, I don't want that. She was like, I don't want to talk to that. And I looked at her, I was like, ew, I don't want to be her friend. She's mean. You don't know how many ugly ass guys I had to kiss, how many frogs I had to fucking kiss and fuck. And she's a bitch. She's being a bitch. I'm like, bitch, I don't want you around. Because it's not about the money or anything like that. And it wasn't even for money. I have free sex with guys that are ugly just because I'm too nice, right? And so he literally was like, I mean, guys, I'm looking at this art, this face mask is so beautiful. And see, I know y'all gonna be talking shit because I know that my zipper is not all the way up. Like, I already know that. That's because I need assistance. Look at Selena Gomez, our Leo. She's a Leo like me. She's not left-handed, but she's a Leo like me anyways. But, yeah, so that's what he says. What was I saying? I completely lost my chain of thought or what I was saying. But so yeah, she said that, and I'm like, why would you be like that? Why would you be such a bitch? I don't want to work with you because you're bad. Like, you know, I think I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know, but I still talk to her. But she's one of those addictive girls, addictive friends, because she gets you. Like, even if she's a bitch, she still like gets you. Like, we used to be like, no, like they got me into the shit that's talking the way they talk. And we have fun, like, together. But she's the kind of girl that gets you in trouble, and you don't have time to get in trouble. And so Jamie and Sade and Sherelle used to try to get me in trouble. Almost got me in trouble. Could have almost got me deported and shit. And I was like, man, I can't be doing this with y'all. But Jamie Sade definitely changed her ways and became a therapist and got her PhD, became a doctor. And that's why I'm the most impressed with her. Sherelle ended up on drugs and homeless and on the street like me, but I'm not on drugs. I don't do drugs at all. I've experienced them, and she was the best supplier. I'm not gonna lie. She used to be a dealer, and she ended up being an addict, and that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times you get what you give. You serve it, and you become the addict of your own product. And I don't mean, I'm not trying to snitch on her. I'm not trying to tell y'all to arrest her or anything at all. She doesn't need to and deserve. She's sick. She needs something. She needs some help. But all I gotta do is tell you guys, whatever she gave me was some good shit. It was so good that I was like, I can't do this shit anymore. Because the minute I see myself falling for a drug or something, I'm gonna be like, nah, I can't do this. Well, really, she's the one that introduced me to ecstasy, which was the Louis Vuitton pill had us feeling really good. Like, remember I told you guys that I got raped by a drug dealer with crystal meth, and he made me do, his stuff wasn't bad at all. It didn't feel bad. I actually had a headache, and when he gave me what he gave me, it felt better. But in the long run, it screwed me up really bad. But when Sherelle gave me some crystal meth, Sherelle was like, come in the bathroom. It was Kalia's birthday, and we went to Chuck E. Cheese, and we celebrated my daughter's birthday and everything, my sister and them there, which I love for supporting me and my daughter. But we were in the car, and Sherelle was like, let's go get, guys, I'm just showing you guys this while I'm telling you the story. So I'm like multitasking basically. So I tell Sherelle's like, come to the restroom with me. And you know I love my girl. I love Sherelle no matter what. I just do. I just love her because she's real. She's fake, but she's real. She's a bitch, but she's real. Like she's just the girl that I love. Her, Sade and Jamie, I just love them no matter what. Like, for some reason, it's unconditional, I guess. But, Sherelle gave me some crystal meth. So she goes to the bathroom and she pulls out a rock and she puts it in a little thing, and she's like, try it. And you know I'm a geek. I mean, I never really have friends, so they were my only friends, my only black friends that were nice to me. And so I was like, and they had a lot of Spanish friends and white friends too, like Sherelle especially, and Sade. Jamie is more of a black person friend. And so Jamie says, Sherelle's like, try this. I was like, all right, because I love you, so I'm going to try this with you. And so I did. And literally, I was so high. Me and her were so fucking high. We were feeling good. That shit was good. We were happy as hell, hyper as hell. It wasn't the same. And when the high was over, oh my God, the hangover was so bad. But I was calling her like, bitch, do you have some more? She has some good shit. Do you have some more? And the minute she wasn't answering, because she was probably passed out, and when she answered the phone, I was like, I can't do this. I can't be addicted to something I can't have when I want it. So that's why I've never been an addict, is because if I can't have it, if I don't have access to my drug or whatever I need, I don't need it. I don't need to have it, because now it's got control over me and I'm gonna lose my fucking mind. And my daughter is like waking me up, mommy, feed me, mommy, I'm hungry. And I'm like so fucked up from the party. Oh God, I was a terrible mother. I wasn't bad, but I was just like a teenager. And me and my daughter, I took my daughter to parties with me. Me, Jamie, and Sherelle will throw parties, go meet guys with my daughter, but we'll make sure we'll put her like in the room, fall asleep. There was one time I gave her some NyQuil so she could fall asleep faster, because she could not sleep without me. Like, I spoiled her. I was like, I will always sleep and take naps with her. But when I wasn't there, or when I couldn't sleep, when I couldn't sleep in the room with her because I'm attending to my company, she would come out of the room and be like, mommy, come lay with me, mommy, come go to sleep with me, mommy. And I'm like, oh my god, I can't. And so I decided to, we were like, let's give, because she had a cold, so that's why I bought the Benadryl, and she was going to sleep, so it was like, let's give her some Benadryl. But that's that story, and she was fine. We gave her a little bit. She fell asleep eventually, but so that's the reason why. But I'm gonna tell you guys more later. Okay, stay tuned. Bye.